it's Haley and welcome to another bookish video. Today I'm going to be starting my first vlog of October, which of course I'll be reading all of the horror that I talked about in my TBR. I'm going to let myself mood read in this video, but it's all going to be taking place within the TBR that I just posted for October. And the first book that I'm going to be getting into is Dark Harvest by Norman Partridge. This takes place on Halloween in 1963. And we're following this evil pumpkin head man who just creates destruction in a little small town. It's giving small town horror and I'm super excited to start it. I'm gonna go have a fun day, a fun fall day, so I will take you along and we will get into this book. But wait, before we get into the rest of the vlog, I just want to thank the sponsor of today's video, which is Skillshare. Let me show you what they're about and a little sneak peek of their website and the things you can learn when you join. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of inspiring classes for anyone who loves learning and wants to explore their creativity, learn new skills, or invest in themselves for personal growth. Have something specific you're trying to learn? Skillshare is the perfect place to start. From photography, illustration, to graphic design, freelancing, and even more, Skillshare has a ton of classes that will match all of your goals and interests. Here you can see that I bookmarked a ton of classes on marketing. My favorite class that I've been taking lately is Marketing for Therapists and Coaches, How to Find Clients by Giorgio Aprile. And honestly, it is so nice to just get a master class with all of the information right there instead of having to go to so many different avenues. And it's a pretty quick course as well. So that is a little bit about Skillshare. I hope you guys will go down below and check them out. In fact, the first 1,000 people to go down below and click my link will get a free month of Skillshare, which is so awesome. Use the link down below. Become a member of Skillshare and explore your passions, learn something new. It's a good time all around. And thank you so much again to Skillshare for sponsoring this vlog. Vlog. I hope you enjoyed our little montage of a fall day yesterday. It was October 1st and we truly were feeling the small town Halloween vibes. That bookstore was so fun, but I did actually make some progress on Dark Harvest. I am about 20% of the way through and it's just giving like adult storybook. Like it's a little bit fantasy, it's very atmospheric. Don't be afraid by me saying fantasy. It's more like fantastical and the writing is just very cozy and warm and atmospheric. I am really loving it. Nothing horror has really happened, but there's like a legend in this town of the October Boy, but here's where I get confused because they also call him
Ol' Hacksaw Face,
as well as
Sawtooth Jack.
So at first, as I was reading, I'm like, I am not understanding until I read the back and I realized that those three legend myth things are all the same. And it's basically this pumpkin scarecrow man who every Halloween comes alive. And there's like a competition in the town with all these young boys to see like who will conquer October Boy, Sawtooth, Old Face, Hacksaw Man. Pete, our main character, is a young boy in the town who is taking this opportunity very seriously because he's trying to get notoriety and escape his abusive father and the town that he has come to despise. It is kind of a wacky plot, but honestly, I'm here for it. Like, I am not taking this too seriously. It feels like I am a child and I am reading like a Halloween bedtime story, and it's just absolutely ridiculous and low-key doesn't make sense, but the vibes are there. So that's where I'm at with this. I have some things to do today, so I'm gonna go out and do them. Hopefully I include B-roll, but if I don't, I guess I'll see you at the 50% mark of Dark Harvest. Hello vlog, I am done with today's errands and I've just been reading here with Mochi. I am 50% of the way through Dark Harvest and I'm really liking it. It's just so much fun. We are getting more perspectives of people in the town, people trying to hunt down the October Boy, other than Pete, our main character, who we're kind of rooting for. He's the sympathetic character who we're not just getting introduced to see him be killed, but who are kind of following through the narrative. And we also get the perspective of the October Boy himself, which is cool as well. And there's a girl who is trying to kill him, which I was like, very male-centric characters, but I get it. Like, it's set in the 60s. It's about, you know, confronting masculinity and slaying demons. Like, I get it. I get where the book is going. But a girl, for allegedly the first time, has tried to join in the hunt for the October Boy. So that is a fun storyline as well. I am gonna finish this up and give you guys my final thoughts. But before I do that, I'm going to give the dogs their October present. I got them some like Halloween themed toys, so I'm gonna give it to them and show you guys that. Vlog, I am back and I have finished Dark Harvest. I'm gonna give this book 4 stars. It was super fun and very like fantastical. If you're looking for a quick Halloween time read, if you just want those vibes, then this is a good one. I really liked the metaphor and the like deeper elements. Like, obviously you can just think of this as a fun Halloween story, or you can really dig in and analyze the metaphors. I think if you live in the Midwest in a small town that you are trying to break out of, or if that is something in your past, this one will really resonate with you. It has a lot of commentary on small towns and the way that they kind of keep things the way that they are over years and years and years and like resist that change. So I really liked that commentary, but there were a couple things that I didn't love that kept me from giving it a 5-star. The first thing was there was a lot of breaking the fourth wall and talking to the reader, which I get is like part of the fairy tale kind of story structure, but at the same time it just didn't feel consistent. I could never tell what purpose it was serving by using the second person POV writing style, so it was a little bit confusing. I couldn't tell exactly how I felt about it. I think if there was a sense of consistency, if there were certain chapters or certain segments that were maybe in italics that were in second person, it would have made more sense. It was just a little bit confused. And the other thing that held me back from giving it 5 stars is there was just a lot of gun violence in here rather than, you know, stabby kind of gore and violence. And for me, if this character is running around with a knife, which he was described to like kill people with a knife, why didn't he use it? You know, that was weird to me, that guns were used as the killing mechanism instead of the knife that was like this horror character's signature, from what I understood. So yeah, didn't love that. It's really a lot harder for me to picture like gun violence in my head, and it's a lot lower stakes for me. Like, you can be feet away from somebody just like in a standoff. To me, that's not as high stakes as like I'm literally coming at your neck with a knife. So yeah, the horror wasn't as effective for me as it could have been, but I still really enjoyed it. It's a good, solid 4-star read. Next up, I'm going to be diving into Clown in a Cornfield 2 Friendo Lives. I'm so excited. This is a YA horror, and of course, it is the sequel to Clown in a Cornfield, which came out a couple years ago. It's by Adam Caesar, and I'm so excited this one got a sequel because the first one I loved so much. It was just a fun, don't even think about it, thrilling slasher ride of a book. So I'm hoping this one's gonna be the same. It's about killer clowns in a small town. Very Halloween vibes, keeping on theme. So I'm gonna start this at some point, but I need to make dinner first, and then I think we're gonna go to a movie. So I'm very excited. I haven't been to the movie theater, I don't think, since like before COVID. I don't remember the last movie that I even saw. So wow, first time back in the theater. But when I have thoughts on this book, I will let you know. Hello vlog, I'm here with Mochi. It is much later. We went to the movie. I'm about to start Clown in a Cornfield 2, but oh my god, I had to tell you guys, if you are a horror fan, you have to run out and watch Barbarian. It is such a good movie. There are so many layers to it. I have not watched a horror movie that I fully 100% loved like this one in a long time. Like, I feel like there's a trend in horror movies to be very, y'all know what I don't like that pretentious, boring, nothing's happening kind of vibe. This was not that. It went off the rails, and it still managed to be funny and gory and have commentary. It was just like all the things in one that I loved, and it still had those like classic horror tropes and that like self-referential nature that I love from the genre. So big rec there if you're a movie girly like me. I'm not really a film girly. I only watch horror movies, but this was such a good one. So highly recommend. Now it's time for some horror book content, and I will probably see you in the morning for an update. Good morning vlog. It is early the next morning. I have a super early doctor's appointment, so I'm actually about to run out of the house. But before I do, I wanted to update you on Clown in a Cornfield 2. So I'm 100 pages in, a quarter of the way through the book, and and nothing's happened. We're just kind of catching up with the characters that we left at the end of the last book, which of course is nice to get some closure and to remind me who these people are and what's going on. But this whole thing is just like a reaction to the massacre. Okay, so the massacre that took place in the first book, there's now all these conspiracy theories and Netflix documentaries and blah, 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 blah about that in this book, which of course would totally happen in real life. So I did appreciate kind of those aspects of like the victims not being believed, documentaries and things like lowering the seriousness of what actually took place. So I do appreciate that kind of like commentary going on in the second book, but I did pick this up because I want a slasher and I didn't want something that was too deep, and right now it's giving me neither. So I'm waiting for the actual slashing, the actual to kick in. We'll see. It's not happening right now, but I'm in a rush. So I gotta go to my doctor. I'm really not excited for this. This is not gonna be a fun time, but gotta do it for my health. So let's go check on these cysts. So it's been 3 hours. I'm just now leaving the doctor. It's a hard morning. This is just not a fun time. This is just not a fun life, but this is the hand that I was dealt. So we're rocking with it. I think I just need to not do anything right now. So I think I'm just gonna go to the park and read because that was really difficult. So if I seem off for the rest of the vlog, it's like just dealing with health stuff is so hard, and I'm just gonna go to the park and read and try to relax and not think about this anymore. Hello vlog, I'm feeling a lot better about things. I had a nice relaxing day and now I've come home to do meetings and things. So I'm about to hop on Zoom, but before I do, I wanted to give you a 50% update. I'm actually a little over 50% through this book now, and now the murder slasher vibes of this book are finally kicking in and taking place. It's very much conspiracy theory commentary vibe, kind of similar to the first book, but I thought the first book was a lot more fun and campy. This one I feel like maybe is trying a little bit too hard. It does feel very YA with the characters, so know that. If you like that or don't before going in, it's something to consider. I am going to go into my meetings, hopefully finish this tonight at some point. Well, actually I have a lot to do tonight. I have my live show for my Patreon book club, and I'm also going to meet my friend because she's helping me film another video. I don't know, I will keep you posted on this, but right now I gotta go to meetings. Hello vlog. Oof, has it been a good 12 hours? I say that sarcastically. The last 12 hours have not been good. I ended up last night filming my video with my friend. We went to Barnes & Noble and bought books for each other to read that were like not in our comfort zone because we have very different reading tastes. But anyway, that's for a video and that was really fun. Driving back to come home for the live show was so difficult. I got another call from my doctor and it's just really, really bad. My health stuff just continues to worsen, and then my brother is now having health issues and he was in the hospital last night. And I also got an email that our apartment is not going to be ready for another 2 weeks. So I'm going to be living amongst boxes. This is my whole existence for 2 weeks longer than I expected. And we were supposed to move into this apartment in July. So it is just really, really bleak. And I don't want to cry again right now. I feel like this vlog is such a Debbie Downer right now. But yeah, with health and moving and just stress and all of this shit, I have not had a great past 24 hours. So I ended up canceling the live show last night and just kind of giving myself that self-care time. My patrons were so wonderful. I felt horrible about moving the live show. I was also so looking forward to it, so I was just not happy about the whole situation. But I needed to take that time and everyone was so sweet about it. I got so many sweet messages privately after I shared a little bit in Discord, and I just could not be more grateful for that community. I'm not gonna cry again in this video. I've been crying literally on and off for the past 24 hours, so we're just not gonna do that. But all that to say, I took some time last night just to kind of be by myself. I talked to my parents. I just like had some family time. And then of course, to decompress, what do I turn to? Horror. So I did end up finishing Clown in a Cornfield 2. And y'all, this one just did not measure up for me personally. I kept waiting for things to feel like the atmosphere I felt in the first one that made me love it so much. And I did not feel that with this one. I'm gonna go ahead and give it 2 stars. And it's for multiple reasons. So first of all, the perspective shifting. I do like when a thriller or horror book has multiple POVs, but this, it was very, very unclear. I could not tell whose perspective we were in. There was no clear shift. There would just be like a page break and then all of a sudden we were following somebody else, which was very confusing. It took me about a page to adjust before I realized, oh, this is not who I thought I was reading from. So if it just would have been like simply like a name before that page break so I could readjust, you know, my thinking of who I was following, that would have been really, really helpful, but there wasn't that. So it was pretty confusing. Also, I think this book was trying to do a little too much with the whole conspiracy commentary shit. And I just found myself rolling my eyes at some point. Like, I turned to this book for good, fun, slasher vibes, and I feel like that's what I got from the first one. And the commentary in the first one was there, but it was like easy to ignore and just get lost in the fun. But this was just so much like try hard commentary, and I don't know if a YA horror slasher is the best place for that. Like, I just was wanting a fun time, and this was not really that. Also, the horror was not like it was in the first one. The first one was so campy and fun in the kills and the gore. The gore was so great. It was so descriptive in the first one. And there were all these different weapons. Like, each clown in the first book had a chainsaw, a hatchet, like all these crazy different weapons that is like, you know, fun if you like gore. And in this book, it was just all gun violence, which to me is not fun horror. It's just like really sad and really scary and really just like too real. So I didn't love that, but I liked what the book was trying to do. I don't think it was the worst book ever. I didn't hate my time reading it. I just didn't enjoy it, but I did love the LGBT rep in this book, so that's a plus. But if you're looking for just a fun, lighthearted slasher, I would say read the first one and maybe skip the second one because this is definitely a 2-star. So that is kind of where we're sitting with the reading at this moment. I have to go run some errands today. I'm also getting Botox because listen, everyone's self-care looks different. For you, it might be like a bubble bath and a nice warm mug of tea. For me, it is reading the most graphic horror I can find and getting Botox in my face. Like, we all cope differently. So that is what I have to do. But I'm hoping I will have some downtime today. I'm going to try to give myself some downtime to just read horror because that is what I want to do. So I'm going to go to my TBR cart and pick my next book. All right, y'all, my next read is going to be Nothing But Blackened Teeth by Cassandra Khaw. And I've heard that this one is just funny, messy. You're rooting for these characters to die because they're all unlikable and horrible. And that is what I need. I need lighthearted. I need characters that I can hate, and I love to see them be killed. Like, that is what I'm wanting right now. Basically, the premise of this book is that all these old college friends are meeting up at their mutual friend's wedding for this reunion type of thing, but the venue for the wedding is supposedly haunted by this killer bride that we have on the cover here. So I'm excited to get into it. I know there are very, very, very mixed reviews. I've seen people that got some enjoyment out of it, so I'm hoping that that'll be me. But literally, McKay and I were just DMing on Instagram about how this book is so horrible, and he literally said it needs to be burned, and I'm like, well, now I'm scared. But I do want to clarify like what my opinion is on this book, even if it's bad. So I'm excited to get into it. Don't know when I will be able to, but when I have thoughts, of course, I will let you know. Just got Botox. What do you do to cheer yourself up? You can literally see all the little injection sites. I freeze my face. Yeah, all of this action, she's gonna be gone soon because literally when I'm editing my videos, all I can do is look at my fucking forehead lines. So she's about to be gone. And of course I do my lips like I do every 2 months. So feeling refreshed, feeling a little bit in pain, but what's new? You know what? This is an upside to PCOS. I'm so freaking used to being in fiery, stabby pain all the time. The Botox feels like nothing. So that's where I'm at. I'm gonna run to the grocery store and pick up some mulch. That's what I need to do today. And then I'm gonna head home and try to film my wrap up. Hopefully I have time before my sessions. I just got home from running errands and I checked the mail and I had a very exciting package for me in my mailbox. Thank you so much, Amber and Danielle. They are the authors of this new thriller, Someone Had to Do It, which is giving Good for Her vibes. They reached out to me and asked if they could send an arc, and they did, and it's here. And I'm so excited to review this for you guys. This is definitely gonna be in my November TBR. This is one to look out for, so very excited about that. I also got all of my banking information for my LLC, which is this. My YouTube, Patreon, social media stuff is now an LLC, so that's cool. But yeah, now I am starving for my day out. I'm so drained. I have a headache. I'm starving. So your girl's gonna eat some pasta. I don't think I'm gonna have time to film my wrap up. And you know what? We're just gonna have to let some things go today. So maybe I will just eat and do a little bit of reading before my sessions tonight. Hello vlog, I am halfway through Nothing But Blackened Teeth.
And I don't love it.
I don't love it. Like, if this would have been just straightforward, messy drama, I could have totally gotten on board with less horror. You know, I love mess, I love tea, I love drama. That doesn't bother me. But messy drama that's written in a pretentious overwritten, over literarized way with like just way too many literary devices and metaphors. It's so confusing. It's like the author felt ashamed of writing something that was like messy and trivial and just like, drama filled. So she had to dress it up in this shroud of fancy words. Like, it just doesn't feel genuine to me. And y'all know I hate when I can hear an author's thoughts and voice behind the writing. I want to be fully immersed in the character's world, in their thoughts. I don't even want the author to be a thought in my brain other than how brilliant they are. And I can fully hear the author and how great she thinks her literary devices are through the pages. So that's kind of how I'm feeling about that. Definitely not loving it. Hoping that the horror can come through for me in some way, because if this was just straightforward drama, I would have loved it, but it's overwritten to hell. Like, it's so pretentious. I can't get over it. So there's that. I am about to go into my sessions for the night. So I don't know when the next time I'll see you, but when I see you, I will probably have a full review on this book for you. Hello vlog, it is after my sessions. I'm just waiting for Cameron to get home. He is coaching games tonight, so he has to be up at the middle school for so long, and I'm trying to keep myself awake so I can at least say hi to my fiance for once on this day. And while I'm waiting for him, I finished Nothing But Black and Teeth. And I gotta give this one 2 stars. Y'all, if for nothing but the dialogue alone, it was painful. And I know what was trying to be done here, okay? And I actually do enjoy what was trying to be done. Like, the attempt at these really beautiful, like, writing style juxtaposed with this petty drama. Like, I get it. I didn't enjoy it. I did not enjoy the execution. The dialogue was literally painful to read. It was so bad. And this is not horror. Like, I'm sorry. It's just not. Nothing landed. The dialogue didn't land. The execution of what was trying to be done didn't land. The horror didn't land. There were some, like, horror movie kind of trope references that didn't land. Everything was half-baked. I cannot give this more than a 2 star. I didn't love it. Sad, but I'm definitely in the don't like it camp on this one. I'd be interested to know what people who like this book like about it, because I really wanted to like it and I still didn't like it. So there's that. You can go ahead and skip it. My next read is going to be Below by Laura Hightower. This is like a Mothman inspired novella. It's only 100 pages. It's about a woman who has some car trouble, breaks down. She gets picked up by this nice stranger. He's a trucker, and then they run into another stranger on the road, and she has to make this decision if she will save this benevolent stranger that helped her from this crazy Mothman person, or if she will save herself. So, kind of like a moral dilemma situation. Just initially, the premise is giving me no exit vibes, and I love the myth of Mothman, so excited for that kind of influence in here. Hopefully, this will be more of a hit than Nothing But Black and Teeth. Hello vlog, I have not started Below yet, but I just got done with my morning sessions. It is the afternoon now. I did some wedding consultation for our cake. It was so fun, like talking through the design of our wedding cake and Cameron's groom cake. It's gonna be literally iconic. I'm so excited for it. So that's been fun. And I finally have a moment. I always have like a break in between my morning sessions and my night sessions. So I try to do something self-care in between so I can center myself. I'm gonna start below and I think I'm gonna make muffins. I have to find my muffin tin since we're living out of boxes still. I think I'm gonna use this pumpkin muffin mix from Trader Joe's and put some chocolate chips in it and make some muffins. Full package of mix, 2 large eggs, a vegetable oil, water. We got that. All right, let's make some muffins and start a new book. Actually, I literally just went through 4 boxes and I cannot find my muffin tin, so we're gonna make bread because I did find this. So this is a life of living in temporary housing for going on 3-4 months. Not ideal. Hello vlog. I made my bread and it's really good. And I also got halfway through below just in the time that bread was freaking baking. This is so good, y'all. This is a 5-star, it feels like. Bold prediction. If this ending doesn't suck, this is literally gonna be a 5-star read. I love it so much. It is so good. If you love short, fast-paced horror stories, especially with creatures that take place in a survival scenario over the course of one night, you're gonna love this. It's giving me No Exit vibes with the like snowy storm and the car trouble and the woman abandoned on the road and she has to figure out a way out of the situation in one night. There's a little bit of speculative stuff in here, but it's not too out of the stretch of the imagination. Like, if you can imagine that a Mothman is existing and terrorizing a stretch of highway, you're good. And like, obviously this is a creature feature, so there's gonna be some type of speculative elements, but I really like it. I just love the writing. I love our main character. Something already happened that like, ripped my heart out. I'm like, for real? Not halfway through. Not that happening halfway through. What's gonna happen in the rest of the book? I am just so invested. I love it so much. I'm so excited to keep reading it. Hopefully I can finish this before my night sessions because I really want to figure out what happens at the ending and give it 5 stars. Will this be the first 5-star of the vlog? I hope so. Hello vlog. Cameron's home and eating bread. Finished Below by Laurel Hightower, and I gotta give this 5 stars. I loved it so much. It was such a quick read. It was so intriguing. It was very ambiguous horror, and I think that's what made it so effective, at least for me. I love that nothing was totally explained, and I know a lot of people will have an issue with that. I actually noticed in the reviews that there were a lot of negative reviews, but I loved the imagery. I loved the writing style. I loved the commentary on feminism and mental health. You can pretty much guarantee if it's a fast-paced feminist horror novel with commentary on mental health and like attachment trauma, I'm gonna love it. This literally feels like it was written for me. I needed something like this at this time after 2 duds of books in a row. I'm so happy I picked this one up. I can't wait to read the other 2 books by this author because in the about the author section it said this is her 3rd novella, so I'm very excited to read more from her. I just absolutely loved it. I don't think this will be everyone's thing because it is ambiguous, it is weird, it is creaturey, but for me, I loved it. So I am going to spend some time with this man before I have to do more sessions tonight. And then maybe I'll start another book tonight. I don't know, but I'll keep you posted. Hello vlog, sorry for the construction noise. It's the next morning and they're going strong already. Last night we ended up just hanging out, me and Cameron. So I started a new book this morning. I started Just Like Mother by Anne Heltzel, which, hello, this cover is literally everything with these eyes. I love it so much. And I am 20% through at this point. This is a culty horror, which we know I don't like cults, so I was nervous initially, but we don't spend a lot of time in the actual cult. And that is what I find really boring most of the time, is like compound life. Yeah, no, I'm not doing that. I don't like that. It's boring. It makes me fall asleep. And every cult book seems to be the same. This one though is a little bit different. So we're following these two little girls in the past, and they were in this cult, and then something happened on one of their 8th birthdays where the cult disbanded, got caught, something happened to dissolve the cult, and now it's decades later and we're following those same two girls who are cousins, and they are growing up obviously outside of the cult and living their normal lives. But one of them has the feeling that the other one is starting a new cult of her own, kind of using the old ideals from the cult they grew up in to start this like modern wellness kind of scheme, which I think is really interesting. It's giving me like MLM culture vibes, which I'm so interested in that. When I watched the LuLaRoe docu-series, it literally blew my mind, and it's kind of giving that a little bit. I really like our main character. The only thing is these chapters are pretty long. That's the only thing that I'm not loving right now, is I feel like it does take me a hot minute to get through a chapter. I've read 20% and I'm only on chapter 4, if that tells you anything. But yeah, for a cult thriller horror book, this is definitely on the better side for me. I do have some sessions this morning, so I'm going to go see some clients, and then I will get back to you when I can. Hello vlog, it is much later. I am done with work and we're actually on the way to go take our engagement photos, which is why I look like a princess, because I'm about to be a princess in these photos, and look how pretty and shiny. I'm so excited. But I just want to update you on the way. I am 45% of the way through Just Like Mother, and it is dark. It is interesting. Obviously, I'm not going to give any spoilers, so don't worry about that. But I'm really into it. I'm surprised how much I'm liking it. There's really great commentary on motherhood and femininity and, you know, all the things that I like to read about in horror books. So it seems like it's right up my alley. I'm so glad I took this recommendation from Olivia Reads a Latte, and yeah, that is my update. We're gonna go take pictures and be in love. Okay, bye. Hello vlog, I am at the park about to do some early walking sessions. Our engagement photos were so fun last night, but when we got home and kind of during the photos, Cameron was literally hacking. He had such a bad cough, and then he just felt so sick last night. I was up like half the night trying to take care of him and got him a cup of water, and he deliriously fell asleep, spilled it all over the bed. So I was washing bedding in the middle of the night. It was just a whole mess. But while I was up washing bedding in the middle of the night, I made it to the 80% mark of Just Like Mother. And y'all, this book is dark. It is so good, but it is dark. I was not expecting this kind of a plot line for a cult horror book. It's definitely not your normal cult stuff, which I really like because it's not boring. Like, I don't think I have an aversion to cults. I think I have an aversion to the compound kind of setting where everything feels the same in every cult book ever. This one doesn't feel like that at all. It is so interesting. Quite a few things have taken place that shocked me, and I love it. I love it. I love the plot. No complaints other than weird smut. Okay? Weird smut. Like, the smut itself isn't bad, but also, like, I'm not gonna be like, ooh, spice in a horror book, you know? Like, some of it was just icky. It was just random. It just felt like it came out of nowhere. Like, it's giving a little bit AHS Hotel, where it's like,
Should I be aroused?
or like, it's confusing vibes. So that is my only complaint, and I literally brought it to the park. So in between sessions today, I have 5 sessions back to back, with like a little, like 15 minutes here, 30 minutes here in between. So I'm gonna try to get more done because I just need to know what is happening. Also, there's a lot about baby dolls, which y'all know Chucky is my favorite horror franchise, so I love the doll content. I'm enamored with this book right now, other than the weird smut. All right, I gotta go be a trauma therapist and, you know, do my job. But I will get back to you when I'm finished with Just Like Mother. Hey guys, it is 3 o'clock, just after work, and I went to Target. I don't know if you can see, I'm at Target. Because of course I am. Now, I needed to get some Lysol and stuff to spray every surface that Cameron has touched so I don't get sick. But I also wanted to get him some soup and stuff, and I ended up picking up a couple of books, so I figured I would show you guys. I got Hidden Pictures. Okay, everyone in the comments is telling me to read this book. It's happening. New release thriller vlog, expect it. Also in that vlog, I'll be reading Wrong Place, Wrong Time. 2 highly requested ones that I got for 30% off. So that's fun. Now I'm gonna go home and take care of sick boy and hopefully finish Just Like Mother and give you guys my final review. I cannot wait to find out what is going on with these crazy people. Oh my God, let's go. Hello vlog, I am home and I finished Just Like Mother. I really love this book. I'm honestly surprised how much I love this book. The last chapter was so crazy. It definitely delivered with the twists. I mean, the twists were just like one after the other, after the other, after the other. At the end, I was so flabbergasted. I had no idea at any point where this book was going. I just don't know if I quite loved the ending. Like, the twist was good, but I feel like I don't have any closure on it. And it's not just like ambiguous, it's like it opens up a whole lot of questions. Like, I would totally read a sequel to this book because I need to know. Like, you can't just leave me like that. But overall, I did like this book a lot. I think I'm gonna go ahead and give it 4 stars. I feel like I can't give it 5. It's definitely not a 5-star feeling, but it's really, really, really good. Maybe a 4.5 if I think about the ending a little bit and I decide that I like it. It's too fresh right now. So for now, it's a 4-star. I do recommend it. I really liked it. And I actually was gonna go to a pumpkin festival with one of my friends tonight, so y'all could see like some fun Halloween-y content for this video, but I just need to stay home and take care of Cameron, and I'm gonna make him soup and just like us have a nice night together, chill vibes. So sorry for missing out on vibey aesthetic B-roll, but duty calls. Wifey duty. Ew, no, that's disgusting. Anyway, so I think I'm gonna move on to my last book of the vlog, and that is gonna be The Troop by Nick Cutter. I am so scared to get into this. Not only because it looks kind of long. Well, it's not that long. It's like 350 pages, so that's actually really normal. But I don't know. Something about the way this book is described scares me so much. It apparently is really gross and has a lot of body horror in there. And y'all know me, I don't do well with that type of horror. I have a weak stomach. I don't like that kind of stuff. So I'm scared to go into this, but I'm excited. This follows a Boy Scout kind of wilderness person troop that's on a camping trip, and they run into this guy who's like crazy and diseased, and the guy infects the troop and they descend into madness. Things start happening. It's giving me vibes of like The Ruins by Scott Smith. So I really love that book. It was a 5-star, but it super grossed me out to the point where I threw up. So hopefully I don't throw up with this one, but hopefully it's a 5-star. I mean, that's the best of both worlds. What more can we hope for? So I'm gonna go ahead and start this at some point tonight. I will let you know when I'm about a quarter of the way through. Hey guys, it's literally been like 3 days. I don't think I've talked to you because guess what? Cameron gave me his fucking illness, so I've been ill and I haven't been reading, but I just wanted to say hello and check in with you because I have sprints today. I'm finally feeling like a little bit close to functional, and on my Patreon sprints, I'm gonna try to finish the troop. At this point, I am like a little over halfway through-ish. Yeah, a little over halfway through, I would say. And I'm liking it. There's nothing wrong with it. I don't think the gore is as much as y'all were hyping it up to be. Like, everyone's saying this is so disgusting, blah, blah, blah. I don't know, maybe I just haven't got to it yet. It's not really bothering me, but I'm very food averse right now anyway. So I feel like this would be a good read for now because I already don't want to eat. So my bowl's not going to be burst if this makes me not want to eat. Basically what we have going on here is a quarantine situation. These kids are camping on an island with their scoutmaster, and a man comes in with a disease, and now the disease is spreading about camp. Meanwhile, the campers are trying to find a way home so they can get off this disease-infested island. I personally like it. Like, I don't know what else to say. It's been 3 days since I got halfway through this book. I just like it, okay? I'm ready to get back into it, okay? My brain is foggy. I am going to get on sprints with my patrons, hopefully finish this book, and give y'all a full review so I can finally show you this vlog, because it's been in the works for like many a day now. Hi vlog, I'm still on sprints. I'm about 70% of the way through the troop, and it's gross. Okay, it's getting gross. It's getting real gross. Also, there is a nice added element of like, it's not just all body horror. There's some like human, obviously I don't want to give it away, but it's like just like human horror is the only way I'm gonna put it. Like human evil, not just this like disease or worm thing. It's like a controllable human thing, which is usually the horror that I like. So I do like that. Also, the writing style is very much reminiscent of Stephen King to me. It's pretty deeply descriptive, but for some reason it's not like bogging me down. Like with Stephen King, I usually get pretty bogged down and bored, and I'm not feeling that way in this book, but the writing style is similar in that it's really descriptive and the way that it's described is similar. So that's kind of how I'm feeling. I'm definitely going to finish in the next sprint or so, and I will let you know my final thoughts. Hello guys, I am done with the troop, and y'all, that last act, like part 3, literally blew me away. It was so amazingly written. The characters were developed so beautifully, and each one got their ending like perfectly. I was like taking pictures of passages because I didn't have a highlighter handy, but I would have totally highlighted. Like, it was so beautiful. It had a lot to say, and it's so weird to say like this gross ass horror book was hauntingly beautiful, but it was. I loved the ending so much. I loved the characters, the story structure, all of it. And I don't think I talked about this on my vlog before, but there's actually like little media inserts in here. I don't know if you can see, like field reports, diary entries, little things like articles and social media posts, and like a little advertisement. It's just so cool. It is so well done. And honestly, I don't think it was as scary or gross as people were hyping it up to be. Like, I was worried this was going to be too much for me. It definitely wasn't. I think if you've read Cows, you are more than prepared for this. If you've read The Ruins by Scott Smith, I feel like this is pretty much on the same level as that. I think for the majority of the book, I liked The Ruins better, but I definitely liked this ending a lot more than The Ruins. So I'm gonna have to give the survivalist gross horror crown to the troop. Obviously, this is a 5-star. Do I even have to say that? And overall, this vlog was kind of a success. We had 2 5-stars and a 4-star. Like, that's pretty good. The other ones, we don't need to talk about it. But overall, I really enjoyed reading the books for this video. I hope you got a good book recommendation out of this vlog. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to check out Skillshare down below. The first 1,000 people get a free month. And like this video if you liked it. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And don't forget to read a book and go to therapy this week. I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!